Everybody, I'm Jermaine McKill with your favorite sports analyst with my co-host
James Jerwin.
and y'all finna get served with the big episode, you guys. Episode 49. We are one episode away from 50th episodes. We've reached a year of producing the show. How you feeling, James?
A whole year, and we're nearly at the half-century mark. I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
Oh yeah, man, definitely a big deal. But like I said, we're gonna dive right into it. You already know we got some bangers for y'all. First things up, man, just to get us started, man, boxing. Um, so the fight you won't forget, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul will be fighting July 20th. Now I ain't gonna lie, James, this was really out of nowhere for me. Have you heard anything about this?
Of course, yeah. This has been all over social media and in the news too, sports news. So.
Yeah, man. Honestly, this fight was totally unexpected. Um, just to get us started, man, what do you think Mike Tyson? Why do you think he decided to accept this fight?
That's a good question. I was thinking about this, and I thought he's been working with Ngannou, Francis Ngannou, now training him up for nearly a few months now, and that kind of had me thinking maybe through all that training, it kind of brought back the spirit of wanting to go and compete again.
Yeah, honestly, it had to be something like it's either that or like I would say, man, it had to be for money because there is no way this fight should be happening. I mean, he is well retired. Jake Paul is kind of a new age fighter. You know what I mean? I think they're both going to get paid for sure for this fight. And I heard it's going to be on Netflix. There's a big age gap. But just to fight one of the greats, man. I mean, this is crazy. This is gonna. I don't know. My whole thing is I hope it's not a stage fight. Because certain fighters, like for instance, the Floyd Mayweather versus who is it, Logan? Uh, they didn't allow Floyd to really fight him like knockout or anything like that. So it's like I hope it's not one of those fights. But I'm really looking forward to it.
What's interesting with that too is you have a much older fighter in Tyson,
Yeah,
and then he's much more accomplished than Jake Paul, of course.
yeah.
But you kind of wonder if they're going to let Tyson let loose, considering that he's nearly twice the age of Jake Paul.
Exactly, and it's like a lot of people are kind of really counting Tyson out a little bit. I guess they're saying he's older, but I mean, he looks as big as he was when he first was in his prime. So I can't wait to see. And just to forward the conversation, man, what do you think Paul was thinking accepting this fight, and should he be worried?
I think he was thinking about the fanfare and all the publicity that he's going to get from accepting this fight. It's on Netflix. It's against Tyson, who he's been retired for a while. So really, in some ways, him beating Tyson is like, okay, so you beat someone who is much older and slower than you.
Right.
But at the other side, I mean, Tyson is an accomplished boxer. So beating him is an accomplishment even for someone who didn't even start in boxing.
Yeah, I mean that definitely is. Even if he wins by decision, it's still a big accomplishment. Just to add on what you saying, man. Yeah, he probably thinking, he's an old man. He's not trying to, do too much. But like I said, man, Tyson's looking healthy. You know what I mean? He's not like a slouchy fighter. He still can, and he has to. I think he has to realize this is not, Nate Robinson, the basketball player, or anything like that. This is a legend fighter. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to kind of put that in perspective. He knows a lot more tactics to shut your body down or anything like that. So you have to kind of go in cautious. Definitely going cautious, man. But if we look into like the differences in them two, like just the fighters alone. So Mike Tyson, he's 58 right now. He was the youngest boxer to win the WBC, WBA, and the IBF. He's an undisputed heavyweight champion. And he has 3 major title belts. That's a major resume in itself, man.
He's one of the best boxers of all time.
Yeah, no question at all. And then Jake Paul, man, he's 27. He has 6 knockouts out of his 10 fights. He's a YouTuber still, and he has no titles so far, as of yet.
One thing I think we could add on to the Mike Tyson is he's also kind of a YouTuber now himself.
Yeah.
I know he's got a podcast.
Yeah, and
so.
he's been on Plenty People podcast. I watched a lot of podcasts with him. So yeah, man, definitely a YouTuber too. Y'all let us know how y'all feel about just the differences in their resumes. And man, just to end us off, man. Based off both of their records, on your opinion, who do you think is going to win this fight?
I think it's going to be a close fight, considering the experience that Tyson's had. He's been boxing since he was maybe like a teenager. I
Yeah,
feel like.
yeah.
And I'm leaning more towards a Tyson victory just because of the experience that he has.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very possible for Paul to come out victorious. And
Yeah.
it's also interesting considering Tyson's been boxing since he was a kid. And now he's YouTubing, and
Yeah.
then Paul, he's been YouTubing since he was a kid, and now he's boxing.
It's
so.
like a switch. I definitely agree with you, James. I'm rooting for Mike. Just off the fact that all those years he still has this talent and this strength and just this energy. Like you wouldn't expect that at his age to, just be still healthy and fighting. Like we know with Muhammad Ali, he's older and he's, sat down and he's chill. But Tyson's like, nah, man, he still had that energy and that power. So, I just hope the fight isn't just about entertainment. I really want to see who's really, if Tyson still has it.
What I hope is that it's a entertaining boxing match because of the boxing and not because of their celebrity.
So yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I want it to be a real deal fight, no holding back. Of course they're gonna. If one person is getting dominated, of course they're gonna try to stop it. But yeah, y'all let us know how y'all feel about this fight coming up in July. I'm super excited. We both want Tyson to win. And I can't wait to see what he got. But like I said, it could go any other way. We just talked about the recent fight with Ngannou, him losing to Joshua, man. I mean, it was sad. That was sad to hear. And I kind of seen clips of it. And I'm like, man, I understand though, because Joshua, he's a more experienced fighter. But at the same time, we was kind of rooting for him. So.
Because Tyson was training with Ngannou, do you think that that's fired Tyson up to go out and perform?
Definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. He definitely is going to try to get his get back for him. Okay, well, you try, but I'm gonna make sure something gets done about it.
And then if Ngannou sees success with Tyson there, that might
fuel
that
yeah,
fire.
exactly. They're definitely not giving up. Y'all let us know how y'all feel about that too. But before I get into the next topic, man, I wanted to. I have a few sports news of the day. We've been doing this for a minute. So first thing, man, this is kind of disturbing me. Ben Simmons, he's out for the remainder of the season. Should he just retire, man? At this point,
it depends. I mean, this is the whole rest of the season. There's been a history of injuries.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He sits out more than anybody, and I mean, he just sits on the. And it's most of his injuries are not like major injuries, so it kind of gives me the vibe that you really don't want to play. You really just trying to collect this money, and I mean, James, he sit with his best dress, sitting on the bench, not playing with his team. I just feel like it's kind of selfish to me. I just think, I think this should be his last season.
Maybe the team just says that's enough after this season, and they let him go.
Yeah, because it's really not fair to them. Like I said, the Nets, they had their whole lineup. They had Harden at one point. They had Kyrie, and now it's like you're the last piece of source they have left, and you're either hurt or sitting on the bench. But it's like when he plays like he plays really good. But it's like, dude, you're never available. So yeah, I think this should be. Y'all let us know how y'all feel about just Ben Simmons, really. Next up, Caitlin Clark helps Iowa win the Big Ten championship with 34 points. James, oh my goodness. And it's crazy. I was covering this game in my job, man. She only had 4 points in the first half, and came up with a big 30 in the second half. That's impressive.
She keeps performing, it seems like week after week, and you're always hearing about her in the news now. So it's definitely going to be interesting when she gets into the WNBA.
Oh, yeah, man. She's definitely going to be a problem for them. With all this March Madness and everything going on, she's definitely going to be a problem. And then our last piece of news is Alexander Madison from the Minnesota Vikings have just been released from the team. And also Kirk Cousins, he's officially out. How did you feel about when you heard about that?
I'm excited to see what he's going to do in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see how he's going to perform there in the NFC South.
It's just funny to me, James, because I remember we was covering that show, that Netflix show, and I seen him, and we seen the quarterback with Atlanta, and just to see him moving, transitioning into that team, it's just funny. There's a lot of trades going on. Y'all let us know how y'all feel about that recent trade and with Kirk Cousins. But this is one of my favorite topics, man. Our next one.
J&J Sports, coming to y'all with more in 2024.